Sykes on the inside, Brooks on the outside. One of the longest runs down to turn 1 on the circuit. And it is going to be a barn burner when they get down there. Everybody lining up. Charles Finelli giving himself some room at the back. Good call there. Everybody else stacking and packing them as they come back up the hill. We're going to look for Aaron Likens to get things underway. Great shot, and we are underway. Green, green, green for race number 2 here in USF Pro 2000. The long run down here into turn number 1. Low lining down to the bottom of the racetrack goes Sykes. Does he hold the spot? He does. Does Brooks come away with second? I think he will. He was able to gap enough, and he does slot into second right on the gearbox. One driver wide coming out over the other side of the rumbles, but back down the hill they come. 2 wide. Lucky Hughes thinking about the inside, but probably thought better of it and tucked back in. Driver making a move up there. I think Ricardo Escoto up into third, and we do have a driver off in the gravel. Coming down into turn number 3. First run down the long straightaway into turn number 5. They're side by side with Braden Eves, and I believe one of the TJ Speed cars, probably Liam Skeets. They'll work their way down. There's your leader, Sykes. Brooks runs in second. Escoto in third. Oh, there's contact. He's going to clear someone out. That was Matt Clark that got cleared out by the 68 of Ethan Ho. Clark had turned in and got drilled in the side. You can see that further back. Something happened to Ho, and the front right is gone. Full course yellow, no doubt, and not surprisingly, within seconds, the AMR IndyCar safety team arrives on the scene. Ho was a passenger there. Whatever happened to him, 100% passenger, came straight across, and poor Matt Clark, who had such a fantastic qualifying run, up into the 4th position, settled in nicely, turns into turn 5, Eric, and gets totally cleared out.
Well, I'm hoping that we can we see a replay there, but the cars don't stop very well when you're airborne.
Exactly.
And, it looked like maybe some wheel-to-wheel contact mid-pack kind of sent him to driver's left and then hit the rumble strips right as that kind of kicks back a little bit towards the right before you make your turn in. And at that point, just a passenger. Poor Matt Clark, though. Great starting position for Mac. For D-Force Racing, and that's going to end up with a DNF here with the full course caution coming out.
I'm trying to see if everybody else was kind of able to get through. That's the crazy thing. I think as Ho was coming through, I think guys obviously picking up into the peripheral, like, hold on, I got to hold on here, because the front guys, Sykes, Brooks, Hughes, and Escoto are fine. I want to say that might be Danny Dashelski, I think, up into the 5th spot now. Indeed, Dashelski in 5th. Denmark, I think Jace Denmark now up into the 6th position. We'll see as they come back around here. We can get things
that's actually,
lined up.
I think that's Escoto up in the 4th spot.
There's Denmark. Escoto had a great run. He got into 3rd early. We'll have a look as they come back up the hill. We'll give you a full field rundown to see how things shook down. We had a couple of drivers make big moves coming forward. They'll come across the line and we'll get things underway. Again, waiting for it to pick up. Sykes, Brooks, Escoto, Hughes, and Dashelski. So right now, obviously the AMR IndyCar safety team with our drivers right now, we're waiting to get the all clear to find out what's going on with them. We'll get the update when we can. So Sykes, the leader, Brooks in 2nd, Escoto 3rd, Hughes 4th, Dashelski 5th, Baptiste 6th. Nico Baptiste up into 6th spot from 10th, so he was able to get 4 positions. Skeets in 7th, Jace Denmark 8th, George Garcia-Arce 9th, and Braden Eves in 10th. Nicholas Montiero 11th, Frankie Mossman in 12th, Logan Adams 13th, Nikita Johnson 14th, Cooper Becklin and Tyke Durst 15th and 16th, Charles Finelli 17th, Arturo Flores, Nico Christodoulou at the back at 18th and 19th, and of course, as we said, both Matt Clark and Ethan Ho out with the contact down there in turn number 5. So indeed, the incident halting the opening lap, with drivers now circulating around this 4.041 mile racetrack. Good start for Simon Sykes. Christian Brooks able to tuck in as well. They weren't anywhere near. He got a really good start, got the run down into 1, cleanly through 1 and cleanly through turn 3 as well. Same down in turn number 5. Cleanup continuing now down with the shattered parts of Ho and Clark's race cars as the contact was made on the turn, essentially right at the apex of turn number 5.
To be honest, where that impact was in that turn into apex, I can't imagine anyone else doesn't have wing damage.
Yeah.
Coming across the bow there.
Yep. Yeah, again, like I said, there's absolutely nothing Clark could do. He's already turned in. That's one of those deals. He's back to power probably at that point as well already. And And Ho, as Eric had mentioned earlier, some kind of contact or something happened coming down into the braking zone. All of a sudden, he shot to driver's left and was up in the air. And again, like you said, you're on the brakes. When you're in the air, all of a sudden, you're not braking, let's put it that way, and you're going straight. And really, just bad luck for Matt Clark. Nothing he could do about that at all.
Yeah, so it looks like Ethan Ho made right front to left rear contact with somebody. Can't quite see who it is, but it sent him into the grass to driver's left, and again, just kind of along for the ride. So that's a tough break for Ethan Ho, and certainly Matt Clark with a great starting spot, kind of all for naught here in race 2. But we get to do this again, race 3 tomorrow. So again, you got Sykes here trying to get to a little bit of redemption after his spin at 14, trying to make up some points. Matt Clark going to have to do the same tomorrow.
That's it. Lockie Hughes right there, the number 44, point leader here after that big win earlier today, holding off Frankie Mossman and Simon Sykes. Got pretty exciting at the end until Hughes really dropped the hammer on the last lap. He pulled out a couple of car lengths and made it a battle for second as opposed to a battle for the race win. It was a really strong run there. So again, field circulating around, -2. Let's have a look. I think we've got the replay queued up, so we're going to have a little look at this thing here right now so we can see the contact that we had coming through. So here they come down the corner. It looks like there's Clark. So yeah, that was Eves. That was actually, looks like Ho drove into the back of Eves. Potential wing damage for the 6 of Mossman, yeah. So, again, there's the contact there coming through the corner. That's a hard hit. As you can see, those drivers making contact. Under the braking, it looked like Ho got into like as Eric said, right front into the back of the left rear of Braden Eves. Let's see if Eves continues on track. I'm looking down front. I don't see any damage to Eves, so hopefully for him, at least for his sake, no damage to the number 92 exclusive machine.
I would be more concerned about Frankie Mossman's wing, the left front of that wing, kind of getting knocked down a bit.
It has been a rough run here for Ethan Ho. Contact with the wall. He and Nikita Johnson at the Freedom 90 at IRP just a couple of weeks ago. Got into the wall there, and then obviously the contact here. That's a rough one for Ethan Ho coming through there. And listen, that happens a lot going into that corner, Eric. You've seen it before. You're rolling down into that corner. Everybody's on the brakes. If you don't give a little extra room and you're not there, and all you can do is lock a tire up, right, and start rolling. And that right front got into the back, up in the air he went. And like you said before, zero control at that point. You're along for the ride. Poor Matt Clark was the guy who had just turned in with back to power in the corner and gets cleared out. Coming from driver's left.
Yeah, you're a yard dart at that point without a feather. So, but naturally, at that point of the racetrack in the Marine Sweep, you're kind of coming to it now, looking at the screen just to the right of the pace car. That grass does move slightly to the right. There is a little bit of a kink to the right, and I think sometimes some drivers will get caught out by that because it's just a slight movement to the right as you get into the braking zone, depending on if you're going, to either 1, 2, or 3 marker, depending on entry to 5, from your brake package. But you look at the way that racetrack is shaped a little bit, you do kind of move to the right naturally, and I think Ethan might have just kind of gotten in that position where he was committed to try to look to the inside of Eves, and Eves didn't move to the right. With that little bit of movement, we've seen those types of incidents before. It's nobody's fault. It's a racing deal.
I'm leaning more towards it's the dirty side of the racetrack too.
That too.
Right? Like nobody's been on that side of the racetrack yet. You go down the bottom like that, and it's dirty. There's no grip down there at all. Go a little too deep in, and just like I said, because I don't think it was side-to-side contact. I think he came from the back and kind of almost rolled up over top of that tire. And again, so lucky for Eves not to have damage to his right rear. And obviously, he's radioing in right now. They're asking how it feels. No doubt about that. We'll see how he plays it. Again, he'll be on the throttle early. We'll be able to see really quickly if there's any kind of damage whatsoever.
More than anything, I'd be worried about a slow puncture, too, within that situation. Just getting a little bit of that, wing panel, side panel of the wing coming in. But if it was true wheel-to-wheel contact, he may have gotten away with one there as far as the damage for that car. But early yellow here. We talked to both Eva and Christian Brooks, both of their, both of those, races where they came in to commentate. They said how aggressive you had to be on these restarts here.
We're going to see this again. I want to look closely to the right there. I hear reports that potentially a wing came off. Somebody's wing further back, potentially off, and he climbed the wing. Let's see. No, he's moving to the inside. No, that's
his own wing.
His own wing. You're right. So the front of his wing actually folded underneath. You wonder. Obviously, I think he probably hit the wing on the tire. It rolls underneath, and away he goes.
Which is what my concern would be with Eve's left rear. If you had a little bit of that end plane of the wing come into the tire, do you have a slow puncture in that? It'll be a very noticeable speed-wise going into turn one. So if he's got any issue with that right-hander.
So that was a really good look. Once we had that other look at it to have a feel what happened, you could see the wing kind of folding under. Once it got in there, tapped the right rear, pulled it underneath, and launched that car up in the air. And that's a lot of the time when you'll race control. If someone's got a wing that's dangling, there's an issue with the wing. They don't want that to happen. Exactly that. If it breaks off and folds under, then you're out of control and you're along for the ride. And that's what happened to Ethan Ho. Just that quick click, not much contact with that right rear of Braden Eves, and around it went. And down he goes. So here's your top 10. Sykes, Brooks, Escoto, Hughes, Deschelski, top 5. Baptiste in 6th, Skeets 7th, Denmark 8th, Garciarce 9th, and Braden Eves in 10th. So you're wondering about the left rear of Eves. We're wondering about the front wing on Frankie Mossman. A couple of drivers that potentially could have been involved in that one.
Get out your grease pencil, question mark, question mark, question mark.
Right? I have a feeling we're going to go green this time by, so we may be back to racing. Kudos again to the AMR IndyCar safety crew. They just do such phenomenal work. We're so lucky to have them. Here's our Honda Civic Type R, our brand new pace car, courtesy of Honda. I think it's a hot rod, 315 horsepower. I got a chance to drive it. It's quick.
You should bring it for autocross.
I could bring it. Yeah, I should do that.
It's at the Motorplex. You know the track well.
I do know the track very well. I wonder if Honda would like me throttling it like that on the go-kart track. That'd be fun.
Well, I think it can handle it.
All right. Drivers get ready to warm those tires back up to get underway, get them cleaned off, get back at it here. Yeah, definitely feeling bad for both Ethan Ho and Matt Clark. Both those drivers needed good runs. Ho 16th in points, Matt Clark 13th. Those guys needed to have good finishes, and especially for Matt Clark, my goodness, he was 4th, right? And tough finish for him.
So we've talked about it a couple times this weekend already, but as we're still under caution, coming back to green, question on the YouTube stream.
Yep.
What's the difference between Pro 2000 and USF 2000?
It's a
great question.
It is. Let me give you the standard line that I always say. It's more of everything is really what it is. It's the same tub. It's the same Tatis chassis, the tub itself. The bodywork's obviously a little bit more. There's a lot more horsepower. We throw 70 or 80 more horsepower at it, 250 horsepower. The engine's the same basic engine, but it's beefed up. Larger tires, more downforce, bigger brakes. So really more of everything. You're charging the corners harder. You got more downforce for the corners. You got a lot more horsepower as well, right? You know, almost 50% more horsepower moving up into the USF Pro 2000 category. And like Christian talked about, it's a handful. So essentially, the rear wheels on the USF 2000 car are the front wheels on the Pro car. So think about the grip there, how the different sizes. And Christian talked about how heavy that steering wheel is. These things are a beast to drive.
And he said that there's no power steering. So it's not like your passenger car just tooling around at 65 miles an hour on the highway and be able to just move the wheel just slightly to the left and change lanes. You have to physically turn that car through the corner.
And you saw him when he was in here. That guy, Christian,
stacked.
ripped. He is stacked. And is he building up that upper body so that he knows he's not going to get tired? Because that's one of the things. I always say the one thing you can control when it comes to being a race car driver is your work ethic and your strength, your physical ability, right? So he's the guy that's going to be at the end. He's not tired. He's ready to go. Those are the guys that maybe aren't quite as fit, that struggle at the end of a 15-lap race, especially at a demanding track like this. Once they come through turn 14, they can get on the loud pedal. As soon as they get back to the alternate timing line, we're racing. Simon Sykes is going to set him up. He's holding on. He's not punched yet. He's stacking him up a little bit. So he decided not to go early. One of the drivers tuck it out. You got to stay in line. Waiting for the green flag. And we are at it again. Green flag flying, but it was really up to Sykes to go whenever he wanted on the restart. Single file and they'll work their way up, but he has to know about that draft. Here comes Christian Brooks. He's going to go to the outside. Was it too early? He'll go side by side. Brooks is going to try to race him into turn number 1. He can go to the outside, and he does. Round the outside of turn number 1. Do they hold on? Wait for that shot coming out of turn number 2, and I think we have a new leader. Book it. Christian Brooks to P1. New leader coming down into turn number 3. Brooks leads, Sykes into second. Escoto with a lot of pressure behind from Lucky Hughes. They'll work their way to turn number 3, the big long run down under the bridge here.
And we talked to Christian during that red flag of that he wanted to be aggressive on the start and restart. And I think he got a much better start, but he also talked about locking up that tire, and that's a big lockup for Christian Brooks.
He dragged that one all the way in through turn number 5. One driver having some trouble going off. The rumble strips look inviting there. Yeah, it's a lot of runoff room. You don't want to really go on it that much. They're pretty aggressive.
I can tell you in the track walk on Friday, we took the golf cart and hit a couple of those rumble strips, and I might have lost a filling or two.
I was going to say, you still got your filling?
Yeah, they're not smooth by any stretch of the imagination.
Look at this racing further back. These guys have their elbows up right now. Dushelski gets moved off. The 74 there digging his way up. That's Nicolas Baptiste. He's got his elbows up. He's been a revelation this year as a rookie with BN Racing, a brand new team as well. They've been really strong, and Nico's been really one to watch. I've been super impressed what he's done, of course, on the road courses, which is more obviously his forte, but he was even really good on the oval, which I was impressed. He's been a guy that I've been really enjoying watching this year. Top 3 drivers trying to stretch away. Hughes now into third. There's Escoto. Big move to the inside. Chase Denmark trying to get by Dushelski as well, and Dushelski's going to go off. Denmark may get 2 there.
Dushelski really kind of struggling on the exit of turn 8, and that kind of paid the price for that into the bottom of kettle bottoms into turn 12 to Canada corner. When you lose momentum on the exit of 8, it compromises everything you want to do down that long straightaway.
He almost had to bring it back on the track and not go over the grass. That's a great pickup, Eric. We watched him come through. They were side by side coming through 8. And again, like you said, if you're not back on it there, that's where the corner starts. Canada corner starts coming out of turn number 8, right? That's the beauty of it. So here comes the move. Simon Sykes will go back to the lead, gets the draft and goes to the inside. So Sykes goes back to the lead. The 2 Paps cars running 1-2. Further back, you see the action. There's the exit of turn number 1. And a driver, there's contact there. Mossman, I think, just got into Finelli. And I think Mossman's lost his front wing. And I think that's probably why. We talked about Mossman's wing. I think he may have lost it already. And he is slowing coming down into turn number 2. Got into the side of Finelli. Likely tried to make the move to the inside. I don't know if he didn't know he had the wing or not, but without that wing, you're going to that corner, you're in trouble.
Lucky Hughes on the attack here to the inside of Christian Brooks. Brooks with that locked tire, going to maybe be suffering the effects of that. Runs the hard rumbles there, and it looks like we've got a yellow over in 3 potentially. Okay. So Mossman may have come down to a stop down there.
Hopefully he can pull in turn number 3, just on the exit of 3, he can pull into that little area there. Hopefully he got off the racetrack. We'll continue to watch. Sykes has gone back to the lead, as we know. Hughes now up into second. Look who else is coming. Third is Christian Brooks, but here comes Ricardo Escoto, and right behind Escoto is Liam Skeets as well. What a drive for Skeets. Started 14th. He's now up into 5th. The Kiwi is on the move right now for TJ Speed Motorsports. What a run for Liam Skeets. Sykes, though, knows he needs a win to get himself back in championship contention. He is digging hard. Already a win at Indianapolis, and indeed, full course yellow. So the lead for Sykes is going to disappear. Full course yellow. Unsure what it is at this point here, but very likely the Listen, race control is going to talk to Frankie Mossman. Why would you pull your car in there and not all the way in? That is not good.
Unless when he hits Finelli coming out of 1, something happens to the driveline or suspension that he didn't have the ability or power to get off to the Skippy road there.
That's a possibility, I guess. I don't know. I just really, that's a move I would love to have seen him pull all the way off.
With the contact, they were on the outside of the rumble strips. It's certainly possible you could have popped up and pulled something, gearbox, anything.
Yeah, it was big contact.
Yeah,
you're right.
And that rumble strip, it looks like both cars are actually pulled off as well. It looks like both cars in the cut over in turn 3.
So Finelli as well. Yeah, he pulled all the way off to driver's left as far as he could go. That's tough for Frankie, though. Think about that great run he had earlier today, Eric. Got that second place finish. The momentum's there, Knows he's got a chance for a win. We are going to have a look at the replay of the contact between those 2 drivers. Keep your eye to the left side of the screen. You're going to see Frankie come in and make side-by-side contact. Oh, no, it's...
Finelli spun right in front of him, and Mossman had nowhere to go.
Frankie, I thought he had lost the wing. He actually lost it there. You can see the wing actually sliding back, further back. Oh... That's so tough.
That's brutal for Frankie Mossman.
Yeah, so Finelli coming out of the corner lost. I thought maybe Frankie was making the move to the inside, but when we picked it up for the first time, they were already connected when we looked up. That's tough. Finelli just losing the rear of the car coming through turn number 1. Mossman with no place to go.
So my question is Finelli started at the back, Mossman started up front. Why was Mossman that far back? Was he having problems because of the contact to the start? Did he got maybe pushed off into the grass on the start? I don't know if we can get a replay maybe of the restart, because they did fan out.
Possibility, yeah.
So a possibility that he got off and ended up dragging towards the back of the pack, because he would have been maybe in the top 10 when we restarted.
And I didn't see, I thought maybe did he come to pit lane and put a new wing on, but I don't remember seeing him come to pit lane. We would have picked that up for sure. So nonetheless, Frankie, who was so good this morning, doesn't get to do it again today. Luckily for him, thinking about momentum moving into the next event, which is at Mid-Ohio, got a chance to come back tomorrow morning. He knows that's a bad, fast race car. He's got to put his head down and kind of dig back in. Yeah, we're going to have a replay of that restart. Thank you to the guys in the truck. We're going to have a look at this here and to see if we see anything here as they come down. Look for Mossman. Does anything happen? Does he go off track?
Yeah, so this is the initial start.
He'd
the restart.
He'd be in that next group.
He should be in the group back here. But I don't know if there's a different angle from maybe the tower looking back towards 14, right by pit in, on that start as they were coming to the hill, because it was such a late start.
Yeah, here he is. He's at the very tail.
He's way in the back.
Yeah, he's at the back.
Which is a little strange.
That's tough.
Yeah.
And he's literally going around the outside of one of the cars. I believe he went around the outside, I think probably of Artie Flores, and then was coming through the corner, and then around goes Finelli. So tough one for Frankie Mossman. Like he said, press the reset button, come back and do it again on Sunday.
Just under halfway here.
And remember this too, they went green to checker in the first race. And you mentioned this, and I think we were talking during USF 2000, that rain delay, that cautions precautions, right? We either go green to checker or we have a bunch of them, because guys get aggressive, they start going at each other when you got a chance to do those restarts. So that's a couple yellows already.
But both Christian and Evagoras both said during both of those race coverages that you have to be aggressive on those starts, because that's where you make up the most positions.
Yeah.
So the initial start and any subsequent restarts, especially a single file restart, that's where you can capitalize, get 1 or 2 right away, put yourself in a better position. They're really long laps here. When we talk about a 4-mile lap, you go to a place like Mid-Ohio, which is really half the size. You don't have as much time to make up, and you don't have a lot of straightaways there. Here, you're using a lot of the toe for that as well. So these drivers, all the different race circuits that you guys go to every season, this is the longest racetrack, and it's right in the middle of the season. Mm-hmm. And so it begins the transition for the rest of the season, from a setup standpoint and a confidence setup.
We're going to get another look. Here's that other shot at the replay. We're going to try to see why Mossman's so far back. Yeah, I don't know if he fell to the tail. You see him side by side there with Finelli, who's kind of pushing him a little bit to the side. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Listen, the bottom line is that he thought he was clean and green through turn number 1. Finelli got sideways. The contact was made. Damage to the car. Comes down the hill. He's not able to get to the inside. I would like to have seen him got farther off the racetrack, but then we saw that Finelli was off as well. So it didn't matter where Frankie was going to end up, with Finelli off track to the left. The full course yellow was most definitely coming out. The lead, the gap that Simon Sykes had going away. Lockie Hughes doing a good job getting himself. He was in third. Now works his way up to second. He's where he needs to be right now. Christian Brooks is going to try to press the reset button and fight his way back for. He'll be looking for a little bit more, because there are just some guys, and I say this a lot, as they're still trying to bring the car of Finelli out. Their work's still being done over there. But I talk about the fact that everybody kind of has a different storyline coming into these races, right? This is the halfway point of the season for all intents and purposes. And indeed, if you got a good race car here at Road America, and it's a triple header for Pro, and you can get 3 big results, man, that is so huge in terms of the championship. But everybody comes in with a different storyline. Like right now, if you're Lockie Hughes, you've done 5 straight podiums. You just got your second win. You got a 29-point lead, which is almost a full race in terms of the lead he has right now. So his mindset, I'll take the win, but I'll go second. I'll let Simon Sykes can win. I'm not going to throw away. Sykes is back at 11th in points. I'm in a good spot here. I'm going to bank some points. If you're Christian Brooks, and we talked to him, you're coming in here P5. He's 53 points back. That's closing in on 2 full races. The most you can get is 33 points. So 66 is 2 full races. he's got to get aggressive. He knows that.
And not only that, but that's almost a full race, or almost 2 full races in that situation. But that's banking on someone else's luck,
Yeah,
right?
true enough.
You need somebody to have a bad day for you to have the best day.
Yeah.
And so he's going to have to start to be a little bit more aggressive here. With the flat spot, though, potentially, how deep can Christian really go into the braking zone? How much can he really attack on this next start?
And we know flat spots bring flat spots, right? The minute you've done it one time, it makes it so much easier to lock back up on that flat spot. He'll have to be very, very tender with the brakes to a certain extent to make sure he's going to be okay coming in. You don't want to do it again early, right? You got to do the best you can and race hard here. Big movers. I want to throw it out to again, Liam Skeets from 14th, now up into 5th spot. Baptiste started 10th. He goes up into 6th, though. Solid run for him. Braden Eves now in the 8th spot. He started 11th, so a couple of spots for Braden as well. Logan Adams currently 11th. He started 17th, so 6 position improvement for Logan Adams, who, it's an awesome story, obviously. It's a single car team. You know, it's grandpa, mom, and dad. They're all in there digging. They've hired some good veteran people to work on the car and engineer the car. And what I love about Logan is he's got that mindset. I'm just here to learn right now. I'm not trying to set the world on fire. I'm not trying to win races. I'm here to learn the racetrack. I'm here to learn the car. And he's done a really good job. I'll say that right now. He's 17th in points, but he's had some really good results where he's been able to improve forward. And he's finishing races and rolling that car back on the trailer at the end of every night.
Sounds like the lights are out on the Honda Civic Type R. Safety car here, USF Pro 2000. Rob, we're setting up for another restart. And we know that there are some aggressive minds here in this field. You talk about Lockie Hughes maybe thinking about banking points, but at the same time, you know what you want. You want the top step on the box, right? He cares. And we're going to see a different start. This time, Sykes goes way earlier.
Well, he had to wait for the pace car. He was so close to the pace car, he had to really get rolling to get back up into pit lane. And Sykes jumping on the loud pedal right as he comes through turn 14. Does that pay off? One driver into pit lane already here as well. Not sure what that is for. A driver has pulled off the pit lane on the right side of the racetrack. Otherwise, we are racing down into turn number 1. Lockie Hughes is going to try to go around the outside. He wants to get the lead. Sykes doesn't want to give it up. We'll pick up that corner there coming through turn number 1. Everybody digging.
Pit lane, by the way.
Pardon me?
Christodoulou on pit lane.
Okay, it is Nico Christodoulou to pit lane. Sykes able to hold him off. Now it's Escoto battling it out here with Christian Brooks. Escoto tried the outside of turn number 3. Not enough. Look at this. Skeets is coming up the side as well. This is going to get exciting. Down into 5, 2 by 2, all the way up and down the order here. Sykes on the inside.
Lockie trying to go the long way around. This time, Escoto locking up the left front.
He's going to go all the way
Sent it in deep.
He's going to lose at least 1 spot. There's another one, too. He's going to lose maybe 3 spots going in deep. So Escoto, I think his teammate was one of the drivers who was able to get by, and he's off again. Escoto elbows up, trying to hold on, and he'll lose a spot to, I believe, Danny Dashelski, who was able to get around Braden Eves as well. Yeah, we're side by side. Eves now on the gearbox of Escoto, who locked it up big time. Eves is going to try to go around the outside. Oh, how about the outside of the carousel? Hold it there. Oh, yeah. Eves around the outside of the carousel. I like the courage. I like the conviction. Not quite enough, though, but gets a good run on the corner. He's going to continue to go to work here, try to get that draft through the kettle bottoms. But it is Simon Sykes, your leader. He and Hughes trying to pull away, and for the time being at least, Christian Brooks holding off the battle for 3rd. But here comes Danny Dashelski. I think it's like he got shot out of a cannon. He is pushing hard to get himself back up there. Another driver pushing a little bit wide as well. So a lot of action here on the first lap after the restart.
That might have been one of the other Pabst cars going wide in 12.
Jace Denmark potentially.
Yeah.
We'll see as they come back around. We'll stack them back up for you here, folks. Big run. Yeah, Dashelski's moved his way up into 6th position. He started that lap in 9th. He's up into 6th. And of course, Escoto locking the brake up on the outside of turn number 5 really shook up the order. A lot of drivers making moves. Sykes, Hughes, Brooks, Skeets, Denmark, top 5. Dashelski 6th.
Snake starting. Lockie just went to the outside and gave him a big look, but tucks back in the line into turn 1. But the Snake started right after start finish.
9 down, 6 more laps remaining. Simon Sykes looking for that win. As we said before, Lockie Hughes with the luxury of not having to win. He can think big picture. He can think about getting to Portland with the lead he needs to try to win a championship. Remember, this scholarship, if you win this championship, over $681,000 to move to Indy next. And we talk about the success of the drivers we've had in this USF Pro program. The last six drivers, 4 are in IndyCar, 2 are now stars in the Indy Next series. So the bottom line is, if you're winning this championship, you're very likely rolling into IndyCar in a couple of years.
Lap 10 of 15. Everybody's starting to kind of mind their P's and Q's here. Maybe conserving a few of these Continental tires for the last couple of lap run. We've seen a lot of last lap passes here. You kind of cool those fronts off a little bit, especially here in Pro. So Lockie Hughes may want to be aggressive here, but be patient. Save those tires and then go on the attack with 2 to go.
So here's your top 10. Sykes, Hughes, Brooks, Skeets in Denmark. Deschelsky in 6th, Baptiste 7th, Escoto 8th, Eves 9th, Logan Adams up into 10th position. What a drive here for Logan. I want to say his best result of the year was 12th twice, once at St. Petersburg and earlier today. So he's having his career best run. As there's the move for Braden Eves. He's able to get by. He gets another spot. He goes to the inside, I believe, of Baptiste. So another pass there. Braden Eves pushing forward in the exclusive Autosport number 92. They are rolling here now. Deschelsky's been impressive. There's the 77 of Baptiste up in front, or the 77 rather of Escoto up in front of Braden Eves. That'll be the next on his hit list. Put the target on the back of the Mexicans, number 77. Oh, Skeets is looking to try to find a way by. He's in the middle of a fight with Denmark. I think Denmark got by for P4. So that is 3 Pabst cars in the top 4. Sykes P1, Brooks in 3rd, and Denmark now 4th. Pabst has a great package here this weekend, as Christian told us. And like I said before, folks, Pabst Racing from nearby Economawalk, they have won races here in USF 2000, have yet to bag the W in USF Pro 2000. Is this the day for Augie Pabst and the team to put the USF Pro 2000 win in the books?
Lockie Hughes trying to kind of do the crossover here. Up the hill into 6th.
Yeah, he's got
underneath Corvette Bridge. Squeezes inside Sykes. Sykes, a really defensive line. Elbows out. And Sykes drops back to 3rd.
Yeah.
Lost 2 spots there.
Brooks took advantage of that. Sykes was on the outside, hung out to dry. Great run for Brooks to really cut the corner correctly and get out of the inside. He saw it happening, so able to make it kind of a tighter exit coming through the corner.
You know what we haven't seen is Christian lock those brakes up since that turn 5. He's been really patient in the brakes. That's why he's stepped back a little bit from your 2 leaders, but Christian doing a nice job trying to save those tires after locking up the right front into 5.
Here's one thing I'm going to find interesting right now. Lockie Hughes to the lead. We saw what he did when he was kind of running defensive, right, in race number 1. He allowed Mossman and Sykes to be right there. Once he dropped the hammer and really went at it, he was able to pull away. And here's now Denmark trying to find a way by Sykes as well. So the 2 Pabst cars, Denmark gets off the left side of the racetrack, losing, I believe, at least 1 position. So tough one there for Jace Denmark. All that work he did, gave it up over in Canada corner. He'll have to put his head back down and keep on digging, because I think that was Deschelsky. What a run right now for Danny Deschelsky. Just 16 years of age. Didn't quite pull it away from Denmark, but he did lose that spot to Liam Skeets.
Lockie Hughes, your new leader. Christian Brooks 2nd. Simon Sykes still in the 3rd spot from pole, under pressure right now.
Skeets thinking about the outside of turn number 1. Thinks better of it and tucks back in. Again, he's got Denmark and Deschelsky right behind him. Escoto now running in 7th, Eves 8th, Baptiste 9th, and Garcia Arce now into the 10th position, moving Logan Adams back into 11th. Nonetheless, a great run for both those drivers, Garcia Arce and Adams. There's 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th. What a scrap we have here right now. These guys are settling in and really starting to go at it. This has been good fun.
Really defensive line by Sykes.
He covers off the inside there, that corner, that kink that comes back to the left, as you mentioned.
But look what it does. He goes shallow, and he sacrifices the exit by doing that. Locked it up, got into the rumbles, and loses another spot.
Yeah, moves Skeets now into P3. Good run there for Liam Skeets. Now, again, the question is, can Christian Brooks reel in Lockie Hughes? Hughes now your leader, the point leader, trying to get his 3rd win of the season, trying to go 6 straight podiums. This is the momentum you don't want to see out of this Australian driver. So impressive last year. I had a chance to talk with his team owner, Peter Dempsey, and we just Look at this side-by-side action. This is Denmark on the outside of his teammate, side-by-side through the carousel. Guys, driving that corner at 100% is hard by itself. How about side-by-side through the kink? You're kidding. Do they get through clean? They do, and he's by. Oh, man. Jace Denmark around the outside of Sykes through the kink. Unbelievable. Can he get the job done coming through? He's going to use him up on the exit a little bit. Yeah, he wants that spot. Sykes is going to lose another position.
Elbows out here in Canada corner.
You think? Yeah, Danny Jashelski says, hey, I'll take advantage of that. Thank you so much, Jace. I'll follow you through.
Open the door.
Yeah, Jace Denmark up into 4th, Jashelski 5th. Is that Eves up into 6th spot now? I don't think so. Eves is going to work on Sykes. Now, that was actually a Scotto. So Eves gets alongside Sykes. The leader at one point dropping like a rock here. As when you get on the outside in the wrong place and in the dirty part of the racetrack, you make a mistake here and there. You're just digging to find a way by. Here comes Eves, and here comes another move further back. No, Eves not able to get it done down into turn number 1.
Talk about all the debris going offline. Now that this racetrack is starting to obviously throw a couple of marbles out with the racetrack temperatures coming up. You get offline like that, you get off in the rumble strips where all the stones and the marbles are. It's going to take a few laps to get those tires cleaned off. As good as these Continental tires are for these USF Pro 2000 cars, dirty tires still don't adhere nearly as well as a clean hot tire.
So we have 3 laps remaining. There's the Denmark-Jashelski battle. He has been a guy to watch here. Danny Jashelski started 6th, fell back a couple of spots, but has fought his way back forward. He's getting ready to go to work now because he can't find a way by Simon Sykes.
Sykes with a little bit of red mist, I think, in the last couple of laps. He's really been roughed up by some of the other competitors and overdriving just a little bit, and I think that's what's kind of caught him out the last lap or so.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree with you on that at all. It's still Hughes leading, Brooks 2nd, Liam Skeets now up into 3rd. Remember, folks, we go from here. I'll run down. We'll do the trophy presentation in Victory Lane. I'll throw it back up to Eric because we're going USF 2000 racing right after this. As soon as we're done here, we'll roll the USF 2000s onto pit lane. They're going to continue that postponed race where we only got a couple laps driving around, essentially waiting to go green. So 1 lap already in the books. They'll put another lap when they go. It'll be a 10-lapper or 30 minutes. Here's the fight again. This is Denmark, I believe, battling it out here with Jashelski. Danny Jashelski is up on it, pushing hard for turn 3, who already have a driver leading. Turn 3 trying to put 2 drivers on the box as well. Hughes, Brooks, Denmark, Jashelski, Escoto. Another good run for Ricardo Escoto as well.
This battle in the back has kind of allowed them to pull away, the leaders to pull away here.
Another big run for Sykes as he was in a battle with Eves. We knew that there, but now he's got himself back up to the tail of this group. Simon, I think, probably pressing the reset button, getting the mind back to where it needs to be. He can now go to work. He's behind Escoto, but he's close enough to very likely make some moves happening. Here comes another big move to the bottom of the racetrack here. Side by side coming through. See, Sykes is right there to get on it as well. Oh, Jashelski almost throws it away. Coming out of 1. A tank slapper at a turn 1 for Danny Jashelski, and he's getting eaten up as well. Sykes to the outside of him right now. Escoto was right there. Escoto gets through for P5. What a race here at the end.
Jashelski on the pitch and catch into turn 1. That's a big moment.
Yeah, 2 laps remaining. White flag will fly for Lockie Hughes next time by. Does Christian Brooks have anything? Jashelski looking back down the inside of Denmark, I believe. No, that's to the inside of Sykes as he's got right there. Oh, watch that wing. Eves coming up to play. Right behind Eves is George Garcia. Oh, wow. That was a big move across. Escoto throwing the block coming up underneath the Corvette bridge. And right there, it stacks them all up. Escoto holding on for dear life right now. 1 lap to go when they come back around. Look at this battle we have. Eves looking to the inside now at Jashelski. Well, a lot of action here now. Everybody's fighting for a spot inside the top 10. Some great racing. Escoto up the hill, did the big block across. We've seen that happen before. You don't get the best run out of turn 5. You try to get across the racetrack to defend on that entry. A lot of the times you'll lose because you can't get around the corner. You get past coming through 7 to 8. But Sykes had already committed. He was trying to come up the inside.
Yeah, no question.
There's your gap for the lead. White flag to fly this time by. There's Liam Skeets in that 3rd spot. He has not been on the podium since the 2nd race at Indianapolis. He would love to do it again. Sykes and Jashelski side by side. Jashelski is going to hold Sykes from going after Escoto as well. But white flag flying. The gap last time by was just over a second for Lockie Hughes as he's trying to pull away. Christian Brooks, although, is going to watch the leader pull away a little bit here if he can't get to the victory. A 2nd place finish for Brooks is going to be big for him, I think. It's going to allow them to move closer to Nikita Johnson in second. Nikita currently running back in the 15th position. Not a good weekend at all for the driver who won 4 races this year already. Last lap, there we go.
Escoto and Sykes around Dushelski. That pitch and catch cost him a position with Escoto. But how about Liam Skeets?
Oh, what a great drive.
Now, what a great drive for Skeets.
Yeah, from 14th to 3rd. That is massive for Liam. You think about that. You're 14th in the grid. You're like, what am I going to do? How am I going to, what have I got to recover with? How about up to 3rd? What a drive for the TJ Speed team. Tim Neff and the crew putting a great piece under the Kiwi today. But this is it. Final lap here right now. The gap last time by was 1.4, and he is just pulling away. Lockie Hughes, this would be his 3rd win of the season and 6th straight podium. But this is the wicked battle we're seeing here right now. Back to the top of the hill. Escoto, Sykes, Dushelski, Eves, and Garcia Arce. That is essentially 5th all the way back to 9th as Logan Adams back into 10th.
Hughes leading the way. You got to wonder if Christian Brooks just trying to be patient with that flat spot on the tire. Really couldn't attack nearly as much as he would have wanted to in these final couple of laps.
And the big thing for him is he can't risk another incident. He can't risk getting pinched down by Escoto. He's got to get a good result here.
He talked about risk versus reward, too.
And he's front row starter tomorrow. Unless we go quicker, that's the one thing. Drivers could potentially go faster in this race than they did their 2nd fastest lap in qualifying. This is Lockie Hughes, the Turn 3 motorsport driver, just letting it go, just driving out there, not thinking, driving. We saw that in the last lap of the race where he just put his head down, trying to put those quality laps down. Out of turn number 14, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, together is Escoto and it's Sykes. You're kidding me. Up the hill. Let's cap this one off first. It's back-to-back jacks for the Aussie as Lockie Hughes wins the 2nd race here at Road America, the winner for Turn 3 Motorsports. And what did we just talk about? And that was Sykes not wanting to give it up. He and Escoto contact into Canada corner. That shakes everything up.
That is 2 races in a row for Sykes on the final lap.
Let's have a look at the replay of the contact there. Coming down to the corner, Sykes actually gets into the back of Escoto and loops him around. Danny Dushelski and Braden Eves say thank you very much. So you'll wonder what...
Yeah, 3 points there for Dushelski.
I want to see that replay again. Let's have another look at that, because I wonder whether or not he was blocking in the inside. You wonder whether Escoto might have checked up a little bit, you know what I mean? Because you're rolling into the corner. But indeed, contact from the back, spinning him around. Here we have a look at it.
He's a half lane inside. I just think Sykes misjudged the braking zone, honestly.
I would agree, and there's really nowhere to go for Simon Sykes. I don't know that he's going to have really any damage to the car. Front wing, he's just damaged the front wing there. That's going to be probably all it is. But man, you think about Sykes, where he was, and they're literally going to be looking over at each other here. Sure, that'll be a
look at Simon looking to the right there with the helmet turn. Absolutely.
A great conversation when they get out of the race car. So let's relook at this, folks. Lockie Hughes with the win, Christian Brooks in 2nd, Liam Skeets 14th to 3rd. I hope everyone down in New Zealand is cheering for this kid. We love having Liam up here. What a driver. 3rd for Liam. Jace Denmark ends up in 4th. Dushelski up into 5th. Braden Eves, who started 11th, he'll take the gift at the end. He and Dushelski 5th and 6th, respectively. George Garcia Arce in 7th. Logan Adams, career best finish, 8th. Shout out to everybody back at the Racers Grill right now at Newcastle Motorsports Park. Logan 8th. Cooper Becklin in his debut weekend for TJ Speed. Both those cars in the top 10. He ends up 9th. And Tyke Durst, first top 10, I believe, as well, for Tyke Durst. What a great run for him. His best finish before that was a 13th at the Oval at IRP. Well, that's there you go. There's your unofficial results right now. Lockie Hughes, 6 straight podium finishes, 2 straight victories, gaps again the championship. Christian Brooks in 2nd, Liam Skeets in 3rd, Jace Denmark 4th, Danny Dushelski in 5th, Eves, Garcia Arce, Adams, Becklin, and Durst, your top 10. I'll tell you one of the big stories on this as well. Simon Sykes and Escoto for sure. Nikita Johnson 11th. This kid was the guy everybody's figured was going to win the championship. He came out of the gate so strong, and he finds himself down in 11th position. Tough one for him. And BN Racing, they had 2 drivers in the top 10 for a majority of that race, Escoto and Baptiste. They end up 15th and 17th. Nothing to show for it here today. Neither did Matt Clark and Ethan Ho, Frankie Mossman, Finelli getting together there when Finelli spun. All in all, tough. Yeah,
you got to think with Simon Sykes, though, that is the last lap on the last set of corners, 2 races in a row now. Now is that going to get into his head coming into tomorrow morning? Now he knows that he has got to put maximum points potential on the board because he has thrown away championship points by not crossing over in the first race, going off spinning in turn 14. Granted, no damage to the car. Now they've got a little bit of damage to that car that they got to work on overnight.
It looks
fairly minor, but
front
still.
wing, maybe right front, right? There's not going to be a lot of damage to that car. But the bottom line is
sacrificing the championship points. That's the story for Simon Side.
Watch this driver rolling that car into victory lane. Lockie Hughes. How about back-to-back jacks for the driver from Australia, now living in Carmel, Indiana? This is all going the right way for Lockie Hughes. Listen, I'm going to let you call this right now. I'm going to head to victory lane. You throw it down to me. I'll throw it back up to you. We got USF 2000 getting ready to roll. But it's victory lane time with this guy here, Lockie Hughes, winner in USF Pro 2000 Race 2.
Yeah, but you got to be happy for Lockie Hughes, though. He has put together a whale of a season with that R next to his name for Turn 3 Motorsports. He has just been up front and here at Road America looking to grab a broom tomorrow morning. Here at America's National Park of Speed. Christian Brooks with that lockup into turn 5 on the first of the restarts. Had to kind of be mindful of those Continental tires, finishing in that second spot. Liam Skeets, though, 14th to third step on the podium. Either way, a great day. All 3 podium drivers have that R next to their names. Here in USF Pro 2000. Rookie campaigners, but turn 3, Paps, TJ Speed, all on the podium here in race number 2. Of course, race 3 is tomorrow morning. And for those of you watching on the stream on YouTube for the USF Pro Championships, thanks for tuning in. We've got another race coming back to back. So it's going to be a little bit of a pitch and catch for Rob and I here once he gets down to victory lane. For the celebration. Once we get the celebration underway for USF Pro 2000, we'll get right into USF 2000. Again, this is going to be a race resumption. So this is technically going to be race 1 for USF 2000 coming up here to end our day at Road America, as these teams will now start bringing their pit carts all to pit lane, and these cars will roll behind the Honda Civic Type R safety car for the USF 2000 Championship. But you look at USF 2000, again, a race resumption. We got a couple of laps under yellow, started the race time. We were under yellow with a, I don't want to say torrential downpour, but it was a frog washer or a gully splash, depending on how you want to call it. Either way, the frogs were happy, racers were not. We had some moving water across the racetrack very early on after that second pace lap, and many of the drivers said that this was not going to be drivable. And for driver safety, certainly the utmost important thing here within the USF Pro Championships, electing to come to pit lane, throwing the red flag, and giving us the opportunity to resume the race here with race control. Certainly the series, Road America, working together with the NTT IndyCar Series race control and partners, getting a chance to get to race tomorrow. So let's go down to victory lane. Rob Howden.
Thank you so much, Eric. Pretty loud down here right now as the drivers at USF 2000 are working their way out here. We'll give them a chance to get out on pit lane before we get things underway. The Knapp family joining me down here in victory lane. The Elite Engines Grand Prix of Road America. And as I said, we are going right back at it. Drivers in USF 2000 rolling off the mock grid up onto pit lane. We'll give them an opportunity to get out here so we can get things rolling here in victory lane. 3 drivers, deserving drivers, ready to get at it here. Final driver out there. Yeah, we'll get things underway now, a little more quiet. Finishing in 3rd spot here today, folks. What a tremendous drive for this guy here from TJ Speed Motorsports. Started 14th, finishes in 3rd. Liam Skeets, P3. What a drive for Liam. 3rd spot to bring him in his 3rd place trophy. Kathy Knapp will come in here from Elite Engines. A well-deserved run there, Liam, from 14th up into 3rd. What a drive for the Kiwi, getting himself some much-needed points to move up the order in a great fight for the championship. Great drive here as well. Led for a time, but ends up finishing in 2nd. Folks, put your hands together from Pabst Racing. Christian Brooks finishing in 2nd. Steve Knapp will bring that P2 trophy in. Great run for Christian. We had him in the booth for the USF 2000 rain delay. Did a great job up there, but what a run for him. A very crucial point. It's getting tight up top. But the driver getting the job done, folks. This is a 6th straight podium, 2 straight wins, back-to-back jacks. How about a round of applause for my winner today? Lockie Hughes wins again. Lockie, let's have a chat first. Dude, it's working right now, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, yeah.
How did it feel out there? I know that you got a lot of pressure for the first race. You kind of looked like you just settled in and started banging out great laps.
Yeah, I mean, it was a bit of a weird race. I mean, it was a big crash at the start. I hope everyone involved with that is all right. But yeah, I actually fell back to 4th, I think, and then felt like we did 1,000 laps under yellow at the beginning there. And then yeah, once we went green, I just focused on just picking them off one by one. Then got behind Simon, and he was defending quite well, so I just had to be quite smart how I passed him, and yeah, we got it done. And yeah, it's all thanks to the team, all the boys and girls at Turn 3 Motorsport, my family back home, the McGinley crew in Wyoming, and Grip Auto Watches.
One more race to go. Can you make this car better for tomorrow?
We'll see. It can always be better, so I'll ask Pete if he can make it better.
All right, that's up to Peter Dempsey. He can get the job done. Let's bring a trophy in here. Logan Knapp, how about another victory trophy, the 3rd on the season for young Lockie Hughes, who expands that point lead. 6 straight podium finishes, starting in the first race at Indianapolis, 3rd at the IRP Freedom 90 as well, and 2 wins here at Road America. Can he go 3 for 3? We'll see. A tremendous drive for him. Big run as well for Christian Brooks. Solid points to move him up as the best he can. And Liam Skeets up to 3rd from 14th. I guarantee you, he figured starting this race, top 10 was kind of the focus. But man, to be able to go to P3, what a drive for the TJ Speed machine. They end up actually putting 2 drivers in the top 10. Cooper Becklin finishing in, I believe, the 8th spot. 8th or 9th, I think 8th spot for Becklin. So great runs here for the drivers from TJ Speed. But again, folks, wrapping things up here. These guys got one more race to go tomorrow morning. Guys, grab that champagne, grip it and rip it. Let's celebrate race number 2. What a win, again, for Lockie Hughes, the victor for Turn 3 Motorsports. Big point lead heading into another race tomorrow. From here, we head to Mid-Ohio at the start of July. But more racing still to be done tomorrow here at Road America. Lockie Hughes, folks, winning. And we'll send it back up into the booth because USF 2000 is getting ready to go. Eric, let's give us the driver lineup. Contact